Hello friends, this is Sandipan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we have learned all about loops, more precisely while and for loop in Python with examples. Today, we are going to explore the concept of functions in a great details with examples. Stay with me till the end because today's topic is going to be a really important one, and also by the end of this video you will have a solid understanding of functions, and surely you will be able to understand the importance of function and create functions on your own Python programs. So without any further ado, let's get started. Functions are one of the most essential concepts in programming. So let's understand what are functions and why on earth we want to use them. At its core, a function is a reusable block of code that is created to perform a specific task. Function helps us breaking down complex codes into smaller manageable chunks. So that's why we use functions in our programs. It's one of the best practices to use functions in our code wherever possible to make it simple to understand, convenient, and also we can reuse the function wherever needed by simply just calling by its name. So everywhere we don't have to write the same lines of codes or the same logic in our program. Keeping these in mind, let's understand the concept with some examples. But before jumping into the coding, one more thing we need to know. There are two types of function in programming. One is standard library function or built-in functions. These are built-in Python functions that are available to use, and we have already used some of those in our previous videos. Another one is user-defined functions that we can create on our own based on our requirement. So let's start with user-defined functions first. The syntax of an user-defined function will look like this. Def function name inside parenthesis arguments colon and the next line function body, and then we can have return statement like this. Here the def keyword is used to declare a function, or it will say Python that I am going to define a function. Then comes function name, that can be any name you want to give to your function. Then arguments, that can be any value passed to the function and should be inside the round brackets. Then the colon, that denotes the end of the header of the function. So in the next line, we will start adding our block of code or statement. Then the last statement is return, which indicates we are returning some value from the function. The last two things, that is the argument and the return statement, is optional here. Means we can have a function which will not receive any value while called, or which will not return anything after getting called. Let's understand it with an example. So we can start with a simple function, maybe which will greet us like this. First, the def keyword followed by the function name like greet, then round brackets to indicate it's a function, then semicolon. So here we are not passing any argument, so we will keep the brackets empty. Then in the next line with indentation, we will write our statement or block of code like this: print hello, comma, how are you? Here we are not returning anything, so we will not have any return statement at the end. So we have defined our function, but without calling it, the code inside it will not be executed. So we can try to run it, but as you can see, it's not printing anything. So let's call our function like this: greet round bracket. And now if we run it, as expected, it is calling the function and executing the code inside it, hence it's printing hello, how are you? Now we can add some print statement before and after the function call to see how the program flow is working here. Like this: print, then program start, then we will have our function call here, and in the next line, print program finished. So if we run it, we can see it's first printing program start, then goes inside the function printing hello, how are you? And then after finishing off, it will come out from the function and prints the next statement in the flow, that is program finished. So even if we define the function, until and unless we are calling it, the code inside it will not be executed. Now we can call the same function as many times as we want, like this. So here you can see it is printing the statement inside the greet function, that is hello how are you, twice. Now as we have understood the basic flow of defining and calling a function, now let's try to pass an argument within this function and use it inside. We can define a new function like this: def greet by name, and inside parenthesis name. So here we are defining an argument. So if we pass any value while calling the function, it will assign to this name variable. Now we can use this name and add a print statement like this: print hello, comma name, comma how are you. Now we can call the function outside like this: greet by name, and we will pass a value here. For example, I am passing my name as a string here like this, Sandipan. And now if we try to run it, it's printing hello Sandipan, how are you. Pass different values in it and check the output on your own. Now let's see some different and real life examples. We can create a function to calculate the discounted price of a given value like this: def get discounted price, and here we will define two arguments. One is the price on which discount will be calculated, and another is the discount percentage. So price, comma discount. Now we will write our calculation to get the discounted price here. Discounted price equals price minus price multiplied by discount divided by 100. And then we can return this value from the function like this: return discounted price. Now let's call the function here get discounted price. Then we can pass any value, for example 1000 as the price and 10 as the discount percent. And as this function is returning the calculated amount, we have to receive it and store it in a variable like this. And then let's print it. Print the discounted price is calculated amount. And now if we run it, it's printing the discounted price is 900 as expected. Now here's a bonus tip about the arguments. We can set a default value of an argument while defining the function. If we take this example, here if we try to skip the value of discount percentage while calling like this, it is throwing an error saying missing one required positional argument. To avoid such error and assign a default value in such cases, we can give a default value to the argument in the function definition like this. So here we are setting the default discount percentage as 5. In case if we don't pass the discount value in the function call, then it will take 5 as default percentage value. So if we call it like this, it is not giving any error now and calculating the discounted price with 5 as discount percentage. So in such cases where passing a particular value is optional, we can use this technique to avoid errors and make our function more flexible. We can also call functions from the body of another function. This allows us to build more complex behavior by combining smaller functions. Let's understand it by some real life example. We will create a function which will calculate the price after tax on a given amount. So let's define the function def get price after tax, and inside parenthesis price comma tax equals to colon. So here we have defined a function calculate total price which will take two values as argument, the price and the tax percentage. Also we have assigned a default value of 2% to the tax variable here. Now let's perform our calculation here. Price after tax equals price plus inside parenthesis price multiplied by tax divided by 100, and then we will return the price after tax value. Return price after tax. So as our function is ready to calculate the price after tax, we can create another function which will take the values from user, call the function and display the calculated price like this. Def display price after tax parenthesis colon, then price equals int inside parenthesis input, and again inside parenthesis enter the price. So here we are taking the price from user input and typecasting it to an integer value. As we have already discussed, the input function will convert the entered value to string and then returns it. We have to typecast it to use it as an integer. Then we can call the function get price after tax and pass the price value and then assign the returned value to a variable like this. Final price after tax equals, and then we can write our print statement like this. Print the price after tax is final price after tax, and then a dollar symbol. And now from the outside we will call the function like this. Display price after tax empty parenthesis. Now it's time to run it, and as you can see it is asking for the price to enter. Let's enter 1000 and it is printing the price after tax is 1020 as expected. So let's deep dive a bit and understand what happened here. First, when we have called the function display price after tax, it went inside the function and asked for the user input. After taking and typecasting it, the function get price after tax gets called with the entered value as argument, that is 1000. So then it went inside the get price after tax function and calculated the price after tax amount, which was 1020, and returned it. Then the flow will return back to the function display price after tax, and then the returned value will be stored in the final price after tax variable. And in the next line, it is getting printed. Now we have discussed all about user-defined functions. Let's discuss about library function or built-in functions. Python comes with a vast collection of built-in library functions to make our coding tasks way easier. We might have used some of these in our previous videos as well. These are predefined functions that we can directly use it by calling in our code. For example, one of the predefined library functions that we are using frequently is print. If we notice carefully, it's a function where print is the function name and we are passing the message string as an argument whenever we call it, and it will print the message passed as argument in the console. We will cover all about library and modules in Python in our next video, and I'm sure you will get a more clear understanding of library functions in it. So that covers all about functions in Python. But if you missed any of the points out, make sure to rewatch it and it will definitely be clear. But if you still have any doubt, feel free to comment down below. Hope you find this video helpful. If so, give a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can create more such helpful contents for you. Hope to see you in my next videos. Till then, goodbye.